Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Beau again. So, today we have to talk about the state of the economy and the state of the president. Because some behavior was exhibited today that I'm not sure is typical of him. And we do know that after going through what he went through, there are a lot of people who come back from it and they aren't operating at full capacity. And he displayed some judgment today and did some things today that just don't make sense. Not for Trump. Not for Trump. And that's how you have to view this. Not as, don't look at it in policy consideration. Think about it as Trump. Okay, so to give you the full run-up into what's occurred, the Powell, who's the Federal Reserve Chair, he said that if there wasn't a stimulus, that it could lead to a weak recovery, creating unnecessary hardship for households and businesses. He described that scenario as tragic. He went on to say that if they didn't get the stimulus, it would cause a long period of unnecessarily slow progress that could continue to exacerbate existing disparities in our economy. Pretty grim coming from the guy who, in theory, is supposed to know. That happened this morning. This afternoon, the president, I have instructed my representatives to stop negotiating until after the election, when immediately after I win, we will pass a major stimulus bill that focuses on hardworking Americans and small business. Okay. So the day he gets the news that a lack of stimulus is going to be just devastating to the economy, the president says, well, we're not going to have one until after the election. Set aside policy considerations as to whether or not you think the stimulus is a good idea or not. The day the American people were told that we need a stimulus or the economy is going to go bad, Trump says, you're not going to get one until after the election. Does that sound like Trump? In his entire time in office, has he ever put a policy consideration above what is going to help him politically? No, he hasn't. I take the president to task for policy decisions all the time. I have never insulted his political abilities. Never. This is a bad move politically. That's not something Trump does. He knows his base. This is a bad move for him. We have to wonder whether or not he had some neurological impacts during his recent vacation at Walter Reed. We know that it's a possible outcome. It is actually incredibly frequent when it comes to people who were hospitalized. We have to consider this now. It's not just a talking point. It's not just a joke. He hadn't been back that long, and he is already doing things that are way out of character for him. Trump doesn't care about policy. He never has. And he doesn't actually care about debt. He's the king of debt. I mean, look at his finances. He doesn't care about the money. It's not like it's his money. It's not like he's paying taxes and funding this. It's all about politics to him. It always has been. And here, the American people get a reminder. If the economy tanks, it's Donald Trump's fault. He pulled out of the negotiations literally right after he was told we have to have this. And they're not going to revisit it until after the election. Either the president has just completely taken leave of abilities that he had, or he's given up and doesn't want to win. Those seem to be the most likely options to me. Because this downturn can happen tomorrow. And with him pulling out and saying that they're definitely not going to get it for a month, that may cause it. That could definitely impact the markets, the thing he likes to take credit for. That's the other side to this. Not just is it not Trump politically, he's damaging the one thing that he feels like he can take credit for right now, which is the economy. He's a failure across the board policy-wise everywhere else. With the economy, in my opinion, he's a failure as well. However, to his base, he's not. If it goes south now, it was his decision. He withdrew. He said, no, we're not going to do this. That's not just a normal Trump bad decision. That, to me, seems like he doesn't have all of his faculties. That he is not operating as the Trump that we knew. That he may be in that fog. Neurological damage from this is a very real thing. It is incredibly common, and it appears that it may be coming into play already. It's something that needs to be discussed on the national level. It's something we have to talk about because it may get worse. We cannot have a president who is behaving out of character, who is behaving in an emotional or irrational way. We've got tough times ahead. We need somebody who is capable of making the right decisions based on their own input, or at least listening to others. Aside from him not thinking clearly, he's not known for listening to others either. This could be a really, really bad recipe. It could lead to some pretty grim scenarios. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.